Hello, welcome back to the Michael Talks Football channel. Oh, can you smell it, guys? Can you feel it? It's that time of the year again. It's that time of the month. World Cup qualifiers are back. They're starting tomorrow, wherever you are in the world. 11 a.m. here in Finland. We got Australia versus Saudi Arabia. We have all the AFC matches going to be played. Then it turns into the CAF matches. We have Tanzania versus DRC Congo, massive match in Group J in the CAF World Cup qualifiers. Then we move on to UEFA, where we have Ireland versus Portugal, Armenia, North Macedonia, and then topping it off in the night, CONMEBOL, South America. We always know there's drama there. Brazil versus Colombia, Peru versus Bolivia. A lot of big matches. We're going to preview each match that are coming up tomorrow, Thursday matches in the World Cup qualifiers. Remember, guys, hit the like button. Share the stream if you want to get more people involved in the chat. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Hopefully you guys all enjoy the stream today. It's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to quickly run through some matches and then maybe have a bit of a deeper analysis on certain matches like Australia versus Saudi Arabia, which is a very big game in the AFC Group B World Cup qualifiers. Remember, guys, get involved with the chat. Let me know how you're all doing. And yep, let's start straight away. I can't even speak right now. Denier, what's up, man? He says, can't wait for tomorrow. Let's go. Yep, exactly. I can't wait either. Match channel, good evening. Good evening to you as well. So remember, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And we're going to start off straight away. We got South Korea versus the UAE in Group A. South Korea, UAE have met a couple of times head-to-head. So far, South Korea has the edge in 3 matches played, 3 wins so far. Pretty convincing, if you ask me. I think South Korea are going to win this game. You guys remember, give me your score predictions for each match in the chat so we can get that involved as well. I mean, South Korea should be winning this match. Let's be honest, guys. Last time these two teams met, it was a friendly back in 2015. So it's been a while since these two teams have met. They have met before in the World Cup qualifiers back in 2011, where South Korea won both matches 2-0 and 2-1. So with players like Son and Hwang Hee-chan, I'm just not sold on the strikers for South Korea. They'll probably my score prediction, guys, was a 1-0 for South Korea in this game. I just don't think they don't score enough goals. They're just going to get 1 goal, 2 goals. They're not going to blow away teams. UAE, they can't really defend. Bert Marwick's squad defensively are not the greatest. Let's be honest here. I think most people can agree with that, even though he's a very accomplished international manager. But still, this UAE side cannot defend. I expect South Korea to win this game. They're on home soil. I have no clue if there's going to be fans there at the match. Probably not a lot, to be honest, because of obviously COVID rules and all that sort of stuff. So my prediction is a 1-0 win. I think Son will get the only goal in the game. You guys give me your score predictions in the chat. As we have seen, look, the last time UAE won a match was 3-2 against Vietnam, which was the second round of qualifying in Asia. So it's been a struggle for them. 0-0 with Lebanon, 1-1 with Syria. They should be beating these teams, really, to be honest, if they want to have any chance of finishing in the top 3 of this group. They lost to Iran 1-0, and they drew 2-2 with Iraq, even though they probably should have won in the final minute. For South Korea, like I talked about, guys, they don't score a lot of goals. 2-1 against Lebanon, 0-0 with Iraq, 1-0 versus Libya, Syria 2-1, and they drew 1-1 impressively away to Iran. So I just think South Korea have too much quality. They're at home in the Goyang Stadium. It is going to be a 1-0 win for South Korea. Danny A says it's going to be a 2-1 for South Korea. 3-1 says Match Channel. Son double and a Son Hwang Hee-chan. Hwang Hee-chan has been good. Been very impressed with Hwang Hee-chan so far for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I like the player a lot. Mika Fox 95, he says, hey boy, hey, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning in. Remember, guys, if you're on Twitch, follow me on Twitch as well. Nice to get some Twitch followers as well. If you haven't followed me on Twitch, you are more than welcome to. And if you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? But that is the prediction then for South Korea versus the UAE. We move on to the next match, guys. It is Lebanon versus Iran. All right, guys, before we, go into a deeper dive of this matchup, first off, I got to talk about Taremi. Somebody in the chat, let me know this. Ali Reza, thank you for letting me know. Taremi has not been selected to the Iranian national team, guys. Can you believe that? So here's the article. Iran need Taremi, but everyone should respect values. Dragan Skokic, the very accomplished manager for Iran. He hasn't lost a match yet. I think he's now won 11 games and drawn 1. So he's still undefeated in his career. But he says the Porto star has been left out of the Iran team for the 2 matches against Lebanon and Syria in Group A of the World Cup qualifiers. Taremi had criticized Skokic on his Twitter account after the Croatian coach had talked about Iranian players' tactical weakness. Mehdi Taremi is a wonderful player, but there are values that we have to respect them. Skokic said, Iran lead the group with 10 points. Yep, 2 matches against Lebanon and Syria are vital for us. We respect Lebanon and know it's not going to be an easy game. They are an organized team and have made a job really tough for their opponents so far. We are focused on this match and we want to get 3 points, and that's why we're here. We also know how strong we are. The national team belongs to all Iranian people, not a special player and coach, but everyone should respect the values, Skokic said in response to controversies about not calling up Taremi. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. I can't believe Taremi has not been called up. What is going on here? What is going on? Why is Taremi all of a sudden fantastic campaign he's had so far with Iran, and now he's not called up? This is not. I hope this is settled before then the next World Cup qualifiers in January. That's all I got to say for Iran fans. I hope it's settled because that is not good news. That front three of Jahan Bash, Taremi, and Osman has been fantastic so far for Iran, but maybe he'll come back in January. I hope he does for Iranian people's sake and the Iranian national team. But Skokic, I've been very praised him a lot. That's a big move. He is probably the most on-form Asian player at the moment is Taremi. And you're going to do that? Big move from Skokic. But let's quickly preview the match, guys. So Iran, we know, have been fantastic so far in World Cup qualifiers. They beat Syria 1-0. They beat Iraq, their rivals, 3-0. One pretty sloppy game against UAE, and they drew 1-1 with South Korea. Lebanon have been the surprise package so far in World Cup qualifiers in Asia. You know, they drew 0-0 with UAE. Only lost to South Korea 1-0. The goalkeeper had a fantastic game. They drew 0-0 with Iraq, and then they got a crazy victory over Syria 3-2. So you got to give it to this Lebanese squad. They're going to make it difficult for Lebanon. All right, guys, let's see now. 2 matches have been played before against each other. Iran won 4-0, and Lebanon beat Iran 1-0, actually, way back in 2012. So fantastic. I think these results are mostly from, I guess, World Cup qualifiers. There's no Asian Cup or anything like that. They take that into account. But Taremi, I still think that Iran are going to be fine in this game, even without Taremi. But it's going to be much more difficult. You guys give me your score predictions in the chat. What is your score predictions for Lebanon, Iran? If Lebanon get a win here, damn. I think this game is going to be played in Lebanon, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is. So that's going to be very interesting to see how this game will go as well. Crowd, and we'll see if there's a crowd there and all that sort of stuff. So, oh man, I still in my score predictions, I said it would be a 2-0 win for Iran, but I'm not as confident right now. No Taremi. Let's see if that's going to make a little bit of a issue in the Iran Cup. But I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Iran. Amar, thank you for tuning in. He says 0-0 between Lebanon and Iran. Match Channel says 2-0, 3-0 for Iran. Danny A says 0-0. Taremi is our best player right now. He definitely is. Yeah, I don't know what Skokic is doing. I don't know what he's doing either, man. I don't know if he's just trying to create some beef or what's going on because it's weird. He'll be back for the Iraq game. Okay, so that's in January then. AD, thank you for tuning in. Amar, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. Matt says, I still think Iran and South Korea will both go unbeaten in this group. I think so, although South Korea could get a result at home against Iran. That's what I could see happening. And 80 says 2-0 for Iran. So I hope Skokic is doing the right thing. I hope he knows what he's doing. Taremi has been absolutely on form for FC Porto. Doing this move in the World Cup qualifiers, every game in Asia is vital. It is very vital. They could really secure their spot, maybe even in January. I don't know what Skokic is doing, man. Worrying times. I hope he's back then for January matches, but we'll see. All right, guys. Next game we have, it is Iraq versus Syria. I talked about how Iraq have caught up a lot of expat players, the most they have ever done, which is great news. I guess if you're Iraqian, if you really want those sort of players to come into the squad, I think it's a good thing. You bolster your national team much more. The 2007 Asian Cup winners, of course, one of the fantastic stories in world football. Syria have been struggling mightily. Absolute struggle for them. I thought they would have done much better, but it hasn't really worked out. So for Iraq, they have drawn 0-0 with South Korea, lost to Iran 3-0. They drew with 0-0 with Lebanon, and they drew 2-2 with with UAE, excuse me, even though they had a 2-1 lead heading into the 94th minute, and they somehow bottled it. For Syria, they obviously terrible performance against Lebanon, losing 3-2, losing to South Korea 2-1, drew 1-1 with UAE, and lost to Iran 1-0. So worrying times. I guess this is the first time ever meet in World Cup qualifiers. I presume so. I think it is. I think it must be. They must have played an Asian Cup or something, friendlies as well. But I think I can't really pick a winner in this game. I really can't pick a winner. I think Iraq under Dick Advocat have got to win this game if they want to have any chance of finishing in the top 2 positions. And I think most people can agree with that, or even in the 3rd position, because currently they are second bottom and Syria is at the bottom. That's how bad these 2 teams have been. Oh, well, Iraq has had 3 draws, but they haven't looked very convincing. They were completely dismantled by Iran. Syria just been woeful. I don't know what's going on. I know they sacked their manager before these World Cup qualifiers even started. They had a very good campaign in the second round qualifiers, and it's gone all downhill from there. So give me your score predictions, guys. I said it's going to be a 1-1 draw in this matchup. Both teams love the draw. Both teams, other than, Syria scoring 2 goals against Lebanon, not a lot of goals. Iraq, obviously, last Asian World Cup qualifiers, the final round was ridiculous. The final match days. There were so many goals and great discussions. But yeah, I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw between these 2 teams. Amar says, always good to see you. Always good to see you guys. Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Remember, hit the like button on the stream. We got 5 likes. We can get the likes much more higher. We can get much more higher. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Bit of a surprise prediction I have for this one. I go for 3-1 Iraq. Okay. All right. Both have been underwhelming. I'll say 1-1, so he agrees with me. I'm Egyptian. I know both countries too well. Syria will win 2-1. Very interesting pick. 1-1, and Syria only win against Iraq 2-1. Okay. All right. We'll see then if this trend continues that Syria always win against Iraq. So we'll see if that happens, but I'm going to go with the 1-1. I just think both teams have been very underwhelming. Both teams have got to win this game if they want to finish in 3rd place. I don't think anybody's going to catch Iran or South Korea in this group, so both teams have got to win it. So that is then Group A of the AFC World Cup qualifiers. Now we move on probably to one of the biggest games. Remember, guys, there is a poll going on where I said biggest match that is happening tomorrow. We have 44% for this game. Wow, everybody thinks it's the biggest game. I like to see it, guys. So Australia versus Saudi Arabia in Bankwest Stadium in Australia. They're actually going to be playing in Australia. Congrats. I guess the COVID rules have gone down a little bit, hopefully, because they're pretty gnarly in Australia. So heading into this game, guys, Australia, very disappointing against Japan. They didn't put much of a fight. I thought Japan were very good on the day. Australia were very sloppy. They scored a fantastic free kick. I think it was from Hrustic, the midfielder. But other than that, Australia didn't have much in the game. They didn't even start Mabil, the great player from Midtjylland, but he didn't have much impact off the bench. Then they obviously beat Oman 3-1. They beat Vietnam 1-0. They beat China 3-0. For Saudi Arabia, I think they have been the class of AFC so far in these World Cup qualifiers. They beat China 3-2. They beat Japan 1-0. They beat Oman 1-0. They were kind of surviving in that Oman match, and they beat Vietnam 3-1. They were kind of lucky because Vietnam picked up the red card, and then it was just the floodgates happened after that. The floodgates just happened. So very interesting match. Are we expecting a high-scoring game, guys? Here is the history between the teams. So look at these high-scoring games. Holy cow. So 2017, 2016 World Cup qualifiers, 3-2 Australia won and 2-2 back in Saudi Arabia. Friendly, Australia beat 3-2, and then Australia beat Saudi Arabia in World Cup qualifiers back in 2012, 4-2. So always a high-scoring match between these two teams. Why is that? We're going to find out. But for this match, you got to expect Martin Boyle, who's been scoring a lot of goals for Australia recently. He's been scoring a lot of goals. The Hibernian striker from the obviously Scottish League. He's scored a lot of goals for them. I expect Awer Mabil to start this game after Graham Arnold decided not to start him in the last matchup. I have no clue why Graham Arnold did not decide to start Mabil, but I guess we'll find out another day. Players like Hrustic, I talked about, have got to come up big. I mean, Harry Suter, the vice captain, he has 6 goals in 9 appearances for Australia. He's like 6'6" or something, the Stoke City center back, a ridiculous height. For Saudi Arabia, obviously under the great international manager, Hervé Renard, obviously very acclaimed international manager. We know that they have great attackers like Salah Al-Shariri, Firas Al-Burakain, all these sort of guys, Salam Al-Dawasari. Saudi Arabia, I think they're a very fun team to watch. Very attacking side. They can make it a physical game like they did against Japan. They do concede a lot of chances. Can Australia take advantage of those chances that they get? I believe Australia will dominate more possession because Saudi Arabia will finally travel very far, and we'll see if the traveling is going to affect Saudi Arabia. And we'll see then if there's a crowd. I have no clue if there's a crowd in Australia for this game. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. You guys give me your score predictions. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw because I just see that Australia may go behind 1-0 and then they'll scrap it out and get maybe a set-piece goal. So that's how I see this game going down. I'm going to go with a 1-1 between Australia and Saudi Arabia, even though it would be fantastic to see maybe Australia get this win, and then it could make this group really wide open in case then Japan and Oman win their games, because currently there's 12 points for Saudi Arabia, 9 points for Australia, 6 points for Japan and Oman. So then if Australia win, they go on level points with Saudi Arabia. Oman, Japan win, they're on 9 points. So then this group is really, really tight, very, very tight at the top. So remember, guys, give me your score predictions in the chat. Danny A says 2-1 for Australia. Okay, I like the decision. 2-2, best match tomorrow. I think a lot of people say this is the best match. 2-1 for Australia. All right, so nobody's going with Saudi Arabia in this game. Danny A says, I hope Oman beat Japan next week. You can't hope that, bro. Well, I guess you can hope it if you want to. But yeah, the only hope I have is that Finland beat Bosnia and Finland beat France. That's all I hope for in these World Cup qualifiers. Do I see that happening? No. It's not going to happen, unfortunately for me. So that is then Australia versus Saudi Arabia, guys. Give me your score predictions. Vietnam versus Japan. I mean, Vietnam. It's been a struggle for them. It's been a struggle. I mean, I know they were not going to be good in these World Cup qualifiers. You know, this is their first time in this phase of World Cup qualifiers. I think they're preparing well for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers because they have a very young squad. They have a young squad in the making. But now they're getting to reality. They're being punched in the face at the moment. Punch in the face. 3-1 loss to Saudi Arabia, 1-0 to Australia, 3-2 to China, even though they had a 2-2 in the 90th minute and then gave it up somehow. Oman, they lost 3-1. Japan, we know they were struggling in the first 3 games after losing to a surprise Oman in the first game 1-0 at home. Then they beat China 1-0, even though they hit a post couple times in the game. They could have won that game 3-0, something like that. They lost to Saudi Arabia 1-0. And then we all said that the Japan-Australia, if Japan lost that game, it would have been scary times for the Japanese. So they got the win, though, which is vital for them. So let's look at head-to-heads. Obviously, they met in the Asian Cup quarterfinals. I remember that game very well, where Japan were peppering, and Vietnam were just holding it down, trying to get it to extra time, and then eventually Japan broke them down. I think it was like in the 70th minute, and then they played a friendly as well. So this is a very low-scoring affair. Japan's defense usually is very good. We know that. Vietnam, they are very defensive, but they just don't have a good defense at the moment. That's the problem for Vietnam. Japan, we know about players like Furuhashi. Furuhashi has to have a big game. Has to have a big game for Furuhashi. I expect them to have, I think it's going to be a 2-0 win for Japan in this game. So Matt says 3-0 for Japan, and Amar says, I bet that Japan will never qualify to 2022 World Cup. Whoa. That is a big, big statement. Damn, Japan have not missed a World Cup since 1994. That was the last one they missed. Danny A says Japan will win 1-0, and gotta go, man. Take care. Thank you for tuning in, Danny A, and hopefully have a beautiful and safe day. Have a beautiful, safe day. 0-0 between Japan and Vietnam. Wow, no confidence in Japan, Amar. Wow, interesting. I think Japan will step up and get a top 2 place. I think so as well, concerning that they will have the home match against Saudi Arabia still. They got to beat Oman next match, though. They have got to beat Oman in the next match, Japan. They have got to do it. So that is then Vietnam versus Japan. Next match it is China versus Oman. So not too much detail into this game. You know, we know China struggling. They got a lucky win against Vietnam, you could kind of say, where they got the last-minute winner thanks to Wu Lei. Wu Lei obviously has to come up big again. They put up a good fight against Saudi Arabia. They were down 3-1. Then they got a late goal. And then Oman have been the surprise package so far. The absolute surprise package. Great to see from them. You know, their only losses have come away to Australia, even though I think it was a neutral location, and they lost to Saudi Arabia. But they could have easily gotten a point in that matchup against Saudi Arabia. They had a lot of chances in the last couple of minutes. So, yeah, I'm liking Oman. I think they're a very good side. Ivankovic obviously led Iran to the World Cup in 2006. So their experience, first ever time meeting in the World Cup qualifier. So I expect Oman to win here. I think they are high flying, a little bit of bump in those 2 games between Saudi Arabia and Australia, but I think Oman will get back and win 2-1 this game. You guys give me your score predictions. So Matt says 2-2 between China and Oman. Okay, draw. And Omar says 3-1 for Oman or 2-1. So yeah, guys. So that is then the Asia World Cup qualifiers. A little bit of a preview for each game. We went more in detail about then obviously Taremi not being selected for Iran, crazy. And then we obviously went in more in depth about Australia and well, something just happened there. Just kicked me out for a second, but get back to the World Cup qualifiers discussion. I don't know why it just kicked me out for a second, guys. Just kicked me out for a second. Don't get it. All right, we go back then to. We go now to Africa. We go to CAF. The most unpredictable of them all. The most unpredictable of them all. First off, we have Uganda versus Kenya. Should be a good game. Kenya have been a little bit of the disappointing team in this group. I thought they would have put up a bit more of a fight. Obviously, their striker Olunga, who scores a ton of goals in the Qatari league, but well, let's see how good the Qatari league is since Xavi is the new manager of Barcelona. But you guys let me know your thoughts. Will Xavi succeed as manager of Barcelona? I know we're talking about World Cup qualifiers, but I just want to hear your thoughts about if Xavi is going to succeed in Barcelona. I talked about in a video. You guys can go check out the video. Will he succeed, or is it just doomed to fail? We're gonna find out. I hope it works. But for this matchup between Uganda and Kenya, Uganda have not conceded a goal yet in World Cup qualifiers. I think that will continue. Kenya, disappointing. They drew with 1-1 with Rwanda, and we know they should beat Rwanda because they're not the best team. So here are the matches head-to-heads: 0-0, 1-1, 0-0. Kenya's the only team to win in this head-to-head matchup. So I think Uganda will switch the trend, and they're going to face then Mali in the last match to determine who wins this group. And I think eventually Mali will win this group. But Uganda, you never know. Uganda, you never know. But I think it's going to be a 1-0 win for Uganda. They're just a scrappy team, quite defensive, well-organized. 1-0 win for Uganda. You guys let me know your thoughts in the chat. I think it's just going to be a comfortable win for them. Then we have Mali versus Rwanda. I'm just going to quickly tell you, Rwanda, they don't concede a lot of goals. They only lost to Mali 1-0 in the first matchup, but the Rwandan goalkeeper had an absolutely fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic game, but I think Mali are just such a good side right now. They're such a good side. We got to watch out, man. You never know. They might win AFCON. They might win AFCON next year. They're tricky side when you think of players like Djenepo, Adama Traore, whichever Adama Traore you want to talk about, not the one from Wolverhampton because he can't finish, the one at Sheriff Tiraspol, the one who actually can finish. So I think this is going to be another routine win for Mali. It's going to be 2-0. I don't expect. I think the Rwanda goalkeeper is going to have an absolutely fantastic game again, but still, Mali have too much quality. All right, next game. Ethiopia versus Ghana. Tricky game for Ghana. Tricky game. This is never an easy matchup. Omar says, "Oh no, Africa!" Oh man, you gotta love the CAF, man. Africa is the most unpredictable confederation out there. You just don't know what's gonna happen. You just don't know. F it. Gambia will win the AFCON next year. You heard it here first. If that happens, I'm gonna clip that so badly. I'm gonna clip that up. Oh god. Uganda, Kenya, surely 0-0. Most likely could be Rwanda 1-0 against Mali. So yeah. Ghana 2-1. All right, so we'll see. Camparte, the Ayu brothers, Kudus, can they make the difference against the scrappy Ethiopia side who haven't been impressive? They just haven't been that impressive. Even though against South Africa, the only goal of the game came from an Ethiopian player. It was an own goal in that matchup. They lost to South Africa 3-1 at home. They beat Zimbabwe. They should be beating Zimbabwe. And the last matchup against Ghana was a 1-0 win. For Ghana, I mean, their only loss in this group is against South Africa. But in that match, a lot of the players for Ghana did not get to travel because of COVID rules, but I think those are all sorted out right now. I expect Ghana to win this game. Head-to-head matches, Ghana have won every game and haven't conceded a goal. So I think this trend will continue, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Ghana. Let's say Partey scores in another game. 3 matches in a row, Partey scores for Ghana. We move on then to South Africa. Zimbabwe should be a routine win for South Africa. Zimbabwe, disappointing. They have all the fantastic names like marvelous, but it doesn't matter. They're marvelously horrendous on the pitch. That's all I got to say. Ghana, Zimbabwe lost every game. The only draw is against South Africa 0-0. But I think South Africa at home, they have a bit more to play because then it all comes down to South Africa versus Ghana in the last match. Oh, I cannot wait. Oh, it's going to be a good game. Going to be a good game. But I'm going to go with a South Africa 1-0 win. Not a lot of goals in this group. That hasn't been really, except for the Ghana, Zimbabwe, and the Ethiopia, South Africa. But I think South Africa will win this match 1-0 against Zimbabwe. So that is Group G. Quickly then, guys, Group H. This group doesn't really matter, but I'll just give you quick score predictions if you haven't seen my score predictions so far. So I will say it is going to be 2-1 for Namibia. And in the other matchup between Togo and Senegal, because we know Senegal are already through in this group, it will be a 2-0 win for Senegal. Now we get to the very interesting group here, guys. Very interesting group. If you guys want to quickly look at the group standings, Tanzania on 7 points, Benin on 7 points, DRC Congo on 5 points, and Madagascar on 3 points. So this group is wide open on who's going to qualify. So Tanzania versus DRC, they obviously met earlier in this campaign. It was a 1-1 draw. DRC Congo, we know they have a lot of talent. Mbokani still doing it at like 35, 36, 300 years old. The man is just ageless. He can just play until as long as he wants, the former Norwich City striker. For Tanzania, they need to get Zamata going. If Zamata can score 1 or 2 goals in this game, I think Tanzania will win. But then you got to think about players like Mbokani, of course. I'm losing the name of the other DRC player. Oh my God, the baller, the 5-star skiller from FIFA. What's his name? Oh my God. Let me know in the chat. I'm blanking on the name here. I can't remember now. I can't remember. Guys, the DRC winger used to play for Crystal Palace and Middlesbrough. I'm losing his name. I think somebody will let me know in the chat. I think you guys will know who I'm talking about. But Tanzania at home have lost to Benin 1-0. They beat Madagascar 3-2. So they're on a good roll right now, Tanzania. Can they surprise? Can they win this group and qualify and only be 180 minutes away from qualifying to their first ever World Cup? Would be a fantastic story. DRC Congo, they lost to Madagascar 1-0 in the last matchup. Should have done something in that game. Really should have. Losing that game, not good enough. DRC Congo, they beat Madagascar 2-0 at home. So they've met before, obviously 1-1. The Tanzania goal scorer in that matchup, ridiculous goal. Scored from like 30 yards out. Absolutely crazy. So, yeah. I think this game, you guys give me your score predictions, is going to be another 1-1 draw. I can see Bakambu, where does he play now? Does he play in Beijing Guan still? I can't remember where Bakambu plays. I know he was in Spain for a while, but I think he might be back in China. So, yeah, I think Bakambu will score, and then we'll say Samata gets the only goal for Tanzania. So, it'll be a 1-1 draw between Tanzania and DRC Congo. Amar is saying 2-0, 2-2 between Tanzania and DRC Congo. You mean Bakambu? No, it's Bolasie. It just came to my head. Bolasie. That's it. Yannick Bolasie. What a baller. What a baller he was at Crystal Palace. 5-star skiller on FIFA. Absolute god. And then the next matchup we have Benin versus Madagascar. Can Benin just get the victory here? And on the last match day, I think they're playing Tanzania. And no, they're not playing Tanzania on the last match day. They're playing DRC Congo away. So DRC Congo away is not going to be easy for Benin. They have got to win this game at home. But their 2 home matches, they have lost in Tanzania and lost to DRC and drew with DRC Congo. So Benin are more of a road team, it seems like. They're the road warriors, as I like to call them. And for Madagascar, disappointing. They were one of the darlings of the AFCON in 2019, but right now it's not gone well. I talked about beforehand they had sacked their manager, or they had some falling out with their manager before the World Cup qualifiers even started, but now it's gone bad. It's gone bad for them. It's kind of sad to see. So, yeah, I think it's worrying times for Madagascar. Can they make it back in the future? Hopefully they do. They're producing players, and they use a lot of players that have French passports and stuff like that. So I think Benin will get the win here. They haven't won a home game. I think they will reverse the curse and get a 2-0 win for Benin, and Amar agrees with me, 2-0 for Benin. So, yeah, that is then all the matches in CAF, guys. Woof! You got to love the African Confederation. Next, we have CONMEBOL, guys. Oh, South America. What a fantastic confederation it is. So first off, guys, we're going to quickly look at the standings. Brazil haven't lost a match, 10 wins and 1 draw. They are on crazy form at the moment. 25 points for Argentina. Ecuador on 3rd place at the moment with 17 points. Colombia on 16. Uruguay on 16, Chile on 13 after getting 2 wins, Bolivia on 12 after getting 2 wins as well, Paraguay on 12, Peru on 11 points, Venezuela on 7 points. So good form for Ecuador. Can they keep it up? Can they just get... Oh, gotta believe in Ecuador at the moment. Gotta believe in them. Gotta believe on them. So in this game, in the last matchup in the October window, Venezuela did beat Ecuador 2-1. And the Ecuadorian goalkeeper had an absolute howler. I think it was a crazy free kick from Venezuela, and he completely missed it. Otherwise, home matches, Ecuador usually do well against Venezuela. You can see here 3-0. They beat them 2-0. Venezuela usually a good home team, but absolutely terrible away from Venezuela. Ecuador, if they can just win this game, that would be good. And I think Ecuador will win this game. It's going to be a 3-0 win for Ecuador. You guys give me your score predictions. Remember, guys, get involved with the chat. Don't be shy. If you're just listening, you're more than welcome. Also, just quickly just say hello, what's up. Remember to hit the like button, guys. We currently have 6 likes, and we got 8 people watching. So remember to hit the like button, follow me, subscribe, all that good shenanigans. I don't want to say it, but just, sometimes just got to repeat it. So that is then Ecuador versus Venezuela. Next matches we have in CONMEBOL, we have Paraguay versus Chile. We obviously talked about in my prediction video for Paraguay. This is going to be the first match for Scudetto, the former former Boca Juniors and LA Galaxy. I couldn't even say it. Former Boca Juniors and LA Galaxy manager after Berizzo, the former Sevilla manager, got the sacking because Paraguay have been absolutely terrible. They cannot score a goal at the moment, guys. They cannot score at the moment. I told you Bolivia would beat Paraguay, and it would be like 3-0. And I was right. It was 4-0 for Bolivia. That was obviously the last straw. They lost to Chile 2-0. They drew 0-0 with Argentina, though they did a good performance there. So scoring is their problem, definitely for Paraguay. Can Scudetto solve that with 6-7 matches to go in the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers? Difficult to say. But now for Chile, they're on a bit of a roll. But what can we say? They beat Venezuela at home. Okay, they should be beating Venezuela. And they beat Paraguay. And Paraguay, we know, have been terrible in the last couple of matches. So I'm telling you guys, this Ben Brereton from Blackburn Rovers, he is a goal-scoring machine. He doesn't speak any Spanish, but it don't matter. He does his talking on the field for the Chile national team. It's fantastic. I saw a video of the Brereton when you get to a new club or you're making your debut for a national team, you have to sing, and he doesn't know any Spanish, and then he just started singing Oasis. Oh, it was great. It was funny to see, but Brereton doesn't speak any Spanish. Doesn't really matter. But we know last window they met with each other, and Brereton got the late goal in that matchup. So I think Scudetto will get a response from Paraguay because they got to win this game. Almiron, Sanabria, these players got to step up. The ballers for Paraguay. I am going to go with I went with a 1-1 draw in this game. So you guys tell me your score results. Amar says 4-3 for Paraguay. Well, that is going to be a very good talking point then in later streams. Massimo, thank you for tuning in. He says Chile 1-0. Chile. And Matt's channel says Paraguay 1, Chile 2. Ali Reza, thank you for tuning in. We already talked about AFC. It was the first about 20 minutes we talked about Saudi Arabia and Australia, and I shouted you out because you told me about Taremi, and we already talked about Taremi and, the falling out with Skokic and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, we already talked about all of AFC, World Cup qualifiers. We're talking about now CONMEBOL, and then we move on to UEFA, and we are done for today, guys. So, yeah, and Massimo says Sanchez will score. Alexis, man, he's been in good form for Inter. Usually he comes off the bench, but he's in good form with his buddy Arturo Vidal, the 2 Inter teammates. So, yeah, guys, that is Paraguay versus Chile. And now probably for the biggest game tomorrow alongside, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Greece, Spain, Armenia, North Macedonia. Remember, guys, if you haven't voted in the poll yet, vote in the poll. So, yeah, Brazil versus Colombia. We know the last matchup these two teams had. It was back in the October window, and it ended in 0-0 where Brazil had a lot of chances, but Ospina has been absolutely amazing this season so far. Ospina has been great for club. Napoli only conceded 4 goals this season so far, and for country. Has saved Colombia in their last games, when you're playing Ecuador 0-0. Look at this, guys. I mean, Colombia can't score. They had 3 0-0s in the last. Okay, they got maybe a little bit screwed against Ecuador, even though it might have been a penalty. Under Yerimina, and there was a foul and all that sort of stuff. And we know VAR doesn't really work sometimes in South America. Then against Brazil, they kind of survived. Ospina was a big man. Uruguay, they kind of survived as well. So, yeah, Colombia got to get some goal scoring. I don't know what has happened to Sabata. He cannot score for country, but he scores a lot of goals for Atalanta. I don't get it. Maybe Muriel, his team at Atalanta, can score in this game. But we know Brazil have been fantastic. They haven't lost a game. Their only draw was against Colombia 0-0. It's in Brazil. I just don't see how Colombia can win this game. I really can't. Obviously, look, I don't think Colombia have ever beaten Brazil at home. This is Copa America. Doesn't count. Doesn't really count there. We know World Cup quarterfinals. David Luiz running with his crazy hair. Yeah, I think this is going to be a Brazil win when we think of players like... Actually, guys, I want to quickly show you the Brazil team because I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear, do you guys think Brazil are one of the favorites for the World Cup? Obviously, we're always going to say Brazil can win the World Cup, but let's look at the squad, guys, in a little bit more detail. So, Alisson, Ederson. What do we say? 2 of the top 5 best goalkeepers in the world? I would say that at least. They got Thiago Silva. He's going to be 38 next year. Jesus Christ. Marquinhos, one of the most underrated players. I never hear anybody talk about Marquinhos. Great player. Danilo, okay, maybe a better right back. Alexandro, good player. Militao, inconsistent but still good. Renan Lodi, okay. Emerson, he'll get better under Conte. Gabriel, I think he's going to become a very good center back. Very, very good center back for Arsenal. We know that. Midfield, Coutinho is still being called up. Can't do anything for Barcelona, but still getting called up for Seleção. Don't understand that. Casemiro, Lucas Paqueta, always good. Fred, he's actually a baller for Seleção, not for Manchester United. He's not McFred. He's actually a baller for Brazil. Fabinho, we know he's a good CDM player. Gerson, never heard of him really. Got to search on him. We know Neymar, of course. He talked about being his last World Cup. I don't think he really is. Then we have obviously Gabriel Jesus, Vinicius Jr., Anthony Rapinha, Matias Cunha. So Brazil need a striker, though. They really need to develop just a goal-scoring striker. Okay, Gabriel Jesus can maybe be that, but he's not really a striker. Pep plays him as a right winger. So what do you guys think? How far can this Brazil squad make it in the World Cup? I just want to hear your thoughts about that. I think semifinals at least. Quarterfinals, they made it last time against Belgium. They were 2-0 down in the first half, and then they were just pouring on all the pressure in the second half, but it just wasn't enough. So what's your score predictions, guys, for Brazil versus Colombia? I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Brazil. They're just the class of South America at the moment alongside Argentina. So, yeah, guys, give me your thoughts. Massimo. Malta versus Croatia. Yeah, we'll talk about that, but it might not look good for Malta. It's coming home. Very important question. What's your nationality, Mike? Well, if you can tell by the jersey, I'm half Finnish and I'm half American. So if you hear the American accent, that is why. Finland will go to the group stage. Bro, we ain't qualifying for the World Cup. If Finland qualified to the World Cup, my God, I'll stream for 24 hours. You heard it here. You can call me out then if I don't do it. But if Finland qualify, I'll say it closer to the mic. If Finland qualify to the World Cup, 24-hour stream. I don't care. I'll just order food. Tell my friends to come on, and we'll just have a good time. That's how confident I am of Finland not qualifying to the World Cup. There we go. That's just my thoughts. Semifinal lost for Brazil. Okay, so semifinal run. Brazil will be runners-up. Oh, okay. They don't have a striker, though, who gets them constant goal scores. If you're just going to rely on Neymar, maybe. 2v1. 2v1 for Brazil, and I am Maltese. I know, bro. I know you are. I think Finland do legendary 2 years. What do you mean by that? I think Finland do legendary 2 years. I hope Finland does a legendary 2 years. Make it to the Euros this summer. Well, last summer, if you count this year. World Cup next year. Sorry, I'm going to swear, guys. Fucking hell, that would be ridiculous. We haven't done anything. We have never qualified to a major competition, and we qualify to the Euros and World Cup in less than 2 years. Oh, my God, I would go crazy. But the last game in the CONMEBOL, we have Peru versus Bolivia. Bolivia got 3 wins in the last break. Oh, actually, no, sorry. That's a friendly between El Salvador. They lost away to Ecuador 3-0. But they got back-to-back wins, guys. They were back-to-back wins. You got to say that. Beating Paraguay 4-0, beating Peru at 1-0 at home. We know they're a good home side. They're away at Peru. Peru have got to win this game. They have been one of the more disappointing teams. They lost to Argentina 1-0. They lost to Bolivia 1-0. So I think Peru will get revenge in this game. Like I talked about, Bolivia are always usually a good home team, but a terrible away team. So I think this is going to be a routine win for Peru. It will be a 3-1 win for Peru. 3-1 win for Peru. You guys give me your score predictions there. So that is now CONMEBOL, guys. And we have one more confederation. And we all know it is the big one. Like I said in my intro of my video. It's the big one. UEFA! They were legendary these last 2 years. Yes, man. I was at the game. Finland versus Belgium in the Euros. Pretty disappointing. But, man, that was an awesome experience to be at a major competition with your nationality actually there, with your home country. Oh, it was fantastic. Great there. I will go to Malta versus Croatia. Well, I'm sorry, Massimo. It's going to be a beatdown for Malta. I just want to be real with you. It's going to be a beatdown, but we'll talk about the games too. And I love Peru in CONMEBOL. Peru 2-0, Peru 2-1. Yeah, I love Peru. I think Garecha, obviously, the crazy manager that he is, but they've been disappointing. They were one of the darlings of the World Cup, obviously, making it finally back to the World Cup. But first game, we have Azerbaijan versus Luxembourg. Luxembourg have been struggling recently, losing to Portugal 5-0, losing to Serbia, drawing with Qatar, losing to Serbia. And Azerbaijan, I mean, they have one draw on this. They got a lucky draw against Ireland where they just survived in the second half, and we know what's going to happen. So give me your score predictions, guys, for each match in UEFA. First match, it is Azerbaijan, Luxembourg. 2-1 win for Luxembourg. They have been steadily improving the last couple of years, and they have a couple players. They have one player in the Champions League, Thiel, of course, for Sheriff Tiraspol, who scored that incredible goal against Real Madrid. So, yeah, very, very impressive from Luxembourg standards. And now we have the next matchup, guys. Must win for Portugal. Must win for Portugal. And Amara says 3-3 between Azerbaijan and Luxembourg. High scoring as usual in this group. There's a lot of goals in this group. But remember, guys, get involved with the chat. If you're not involved, what are you doing? All right. Ireland, Portugal. We know the last time these two teams met, Ireland had the 1-0 lead after the first half, after the 85 minutes. And then there was that guy who just keeps on scoring clutch goals, who always comes up clutch. CR7. And I think he will do it again. Ireland have been one of the more disappointing teams in the World Cup qualifiers. Okay, they beat Qatar 4-0. They beat Azerbaijan 3-0. Okay, they've been improving now recently. But I just think these Portugal players, some of them for club have been fantastic. Some of them for club have been mostly Bruno Fernandes. But they got CR7. Cancelo, my God. I honestly think Cancelo was one of the biggest misses in the Euros this summer because obviously he had COVID and he missed the whole Euros for Portugal, and you could tell it was a big miss for them. It really was a big miss, but I think this is a must-win. We know this is a must-win for Portugal because then their next match will be against Serbia, and there will probably be a watch-along for that game, guys, between Portugal and Serbia. What a fantastic occasion it should be because Serbia have some ballers, and we will talk about that game in more detail in the future in the next couple of days. But for this game, I think it's going to be a routine win for Portugal. 3-1 win for Portugal. Omar says 1-1. Ronaldo plus 90 goal before losing. Man, you're going for... Man, what? You got some crazy results. I like it, though. I like the crazy results. But still, like, Portugal, they have much more quality than this Irish squad. But I think this will be a victory for Portugal. I really think so. They're a really good squad. We know that, even though they were one of the more disappointing teams this year in the Euros. But anyways, all right, guys. Next game we have, it is Georgia versus Sweden. Sverige. Okay, guess what, guys? More news, more articles for you guys. Guess who's back in the Sweden national team squad? Guess who's back? Back again. I can't say it anymore. Zlatan is back, guys. Zlatan jokes of old body, young mind ahead of Sweden return. So he is back. He's been injuries and all that sort of stuff. Flying out with the coach. But veteran striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic said on Monday he felt great to be back from the injury at last for Sweden's upcoming 2022 World Cup. Obviously, he missed the Euros because of the injury. He says, it feels good to be back, said the 40-year-old ahead of a crucial matches against Georgia and Spain. It was tough, but being honest, I just wasn't 100%. Obviously, if you're not 100% at 40 years old, what can you do, really? Ibrahimovic, who has scored 62 international goals in 118 matches, said he was ready to play whatever amount of time Coach Jan Andersson had asked him. I shouldn't be pushed after my injuries, but everybody wants to play. I'm getting older, but I understand my body better now. It's older, even if my mind is younger, and I'm getting better looking. Oh, I love Zlatan. Oh, God, I love this guy. It all depends on what Yonde wants. I'm here as a member of the squad. Well, Zlatan's being a team member. He's being a team member, guys. Great to see. But will the partnership between Isak and Zlatan Ibrahimovic work, guys? You guys let me know. Will it work? I think it will, because Zlatan will be the guy who holds up the ball, and then Alexander Isak, who has pace, can finish, will get a lot of goals because of that. Now, do I think Zlatan will play against Spain? No. I just don't think that will happen. I think then Jan Andersson will go with Kulusevski and Isak up top against Spain. But against Georgia, it's going to be Ibra. You know it's going to be Ibra. Are you kidding me? It's going to be Ibra. But this is what they're going with the expected lineups. Okay, I'm not going to even dive into that. But recent form, guys, Sweden have been fantastic. You know, beating Kosovo 3-0, beating Greece 2-0. So they're on good form head-to-head. Sweden got the early result in March, a 1-0 victory for them against Georgia. So this is a must-win for Sweden because, you know, if we look at the group quickly, in this group, Sweden are on 15 points, Spain are on 13 points. So, yeah, it's all coming down to the last match today when two teams face off against each other. So I think it's going to be a Sweden win, 2-0 for Sweden. I'm just very impressed from the Sweden squad. You know, even though they are Finland's neighbors, we kind of hate each other when it comes to, obviously, sporting-wise. We don't really hate each other, but at least I don't. At least I can't say for everybody, but that's just to everybody's opinion in these two countries. But I respect Sweden. They have great football players. Finland hasn't done the same as Sweden. Sweden made it to the quarterfinals of the last World Cup. I think they will qualify to back-to-back World Cups, and hopefully Zlatan gets to play. I really do. I love this Sweden squad. Emil Forsberg is always a baller. Got to say that. So, remember, guys, give me your score predictions. Ireland will serve Serbia 2-0. Maybe they will. Georgia 0, Sweden 6. Oh, Mar, I'm just laughing at your predictions. Zlatan hat trick. Well, if Zlatan gets a hat trick, we're all happy then. We're all happy. And Raf Bonifat, thank you for tuning in. He says Sweden 2-0 elbow cough. I guess you meant that it's the Georgia flag, maybe. Because it sometimes does that with the streaming site that it doesn't show the country's flag. Or maybe you're saying elbow cough. Who knows? But the next matchup we have, guys, it is Greece versus Spain. So, you know, Spain, they don't have Orizabal. He is obviously injured in this matchup. So Spain are missing some key players. It shouldn't really matter, though, because, you know, Greece have been improving, though. Pavlidis, a very good striker from, I think, Herevin, or I think it's Herevin where he plays at. I know he plays in Holland. I can't remember which squad, but he's a good player. Obviously, Shimikas, we all know about. Janulis, obviously, Flashadomis, the Benfica goalkeeper. So, you know, Greece are steadily building up confidence because they have been terrible in the last couple of years. Absolutely terrible, Greece. Losing to Liechtenstein at home? What the heck? But, I mean, Spain, are they any better? Morata? I can't trust Morata for anything. I can't trust Morata for anything, man. He cannot finish. So it's going to be an issue. Can Spain eventually get the goals in this matchup? I think they will. Because, you know, Greece, they did well against Sweden, but then eventually they broke down in the second half. I thought Greece were better in the first half, but then in the second half, it just seemed like they got fatigued a little bit. So that's the problem. But I think Spain will win this matchup. You guys give me your score predictions. I think Spain will win 2-0. I think eventually, even though I'm dissing him, I think Morata will get the goal. Even though I'm dissing him, but I think Morata will get the goal in this game. He's a good player, but yeah. So that is then Group B action of the World Cup qualifiers in UEFA. Greece 1-1 with Spain. Okay. You think I'm joking, but look at the comments after these matches. You will be amazed. I mean, Amar, if Sweden wins 6-0, Jesus Christ, and if this matches ends 1-1, then Sweden have qualified to the World Cup directly. Pack your bags, Sweden. Amar said you're going to Qatar. I didn't say that, guys. I think we'll come down to the last match today, but I still think Sweden will qualify to the World Cup. I still think that. I think Spain will have to go to the playoffs. All right. Next matches. We have Group H. Obviously, it's all coming down to the last match day between Russia and Croatia. But first off, Russia have got to get past Cyprus. They will. Russia have been decent recently. They have won most of their matches 2-1 against Slovenia, 1-0 against Slovakia. They don't blow out teams, but they don't really concede a lot of goals. Valery Karpin, the manager, good manager, obviously after getting rid of Cheryshev. I think Cheryshev or Cheryshev is one of those two names. But Cyprus, I mean, yeah, they're an okay team, Cyprus, but they're losing a lot of matches and quite badly. Their only chances are against Malta, and they lost to Malta 3-0 away. So, I mean, what do you want from the Cyprus squad? They're not going to do anything in this game. It's going to be a routine win for Russia, 2-0 for Russia. So it's all coming down to Russia versus Croatia on the last match day. And now we talk about Massimo's country, Malta. Can they pull off an amazing result against Croatia? I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. Yeah. I mean, look at Malta's recent results. Other than beating Cyprus 3-0, lost to Slovenia, lost to Russia, lost to Slovenia, drew with Cyprus. For Croatia, usually they don't do well away from Croatia, but at home they do well. But, I mean, they drew 2-2 with Slovakia in an absolute downpour in the monsoon. So, Croatia, they have great players, but they just don't have a striker. I mean, they try and play Kramaric as striker, but he's not really a striker. That's the problem. Kramaric is more of a cam player. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Massimo. This might get ugly. I think Orsic will score a couple of goals in this game. Hopefully, Orsic gets to play. I really like Orsic, and obviously Modric, Brozovic. They're all great players for Croatia, man. They had such a good squad. That's why they made it to the World Cup final. One of the great stories, I think. But Croatia will win this game 4-0. So, sorry, Massimo. It's going to be a ugly day for Malta. Then quickly, guys, Slovenia versus Slovakia. I mean, they're far behind. They have no chance of qualifying to the World Cup. They drew 1-1 earlier in this World Cup qualifiers. Usually it's only one goal game. So it's going to be another 1-1 between Slovakia and Slovenia in this matchup. So I think Spain will qualify with Sweden by knockout phase. Okay. Russia 3-0. Sorry, 4-0 for Croatia. Victor Kristic, thank you for tuning in. He says, score prediction for Portugal versus Serbia game. Well, Victor, I will be doing a watch-along for the matchup. But if you want an early score prediction, I don't know if you're Serbian. You guys have a great squad. If you do, obviously Vlahovic, Mitrovic. Nobody's talking about Mitrovic, guys. This guy has 20 goals already in the championship. 20 goals already for Mitrovic. Absolute baller. He doesn't really score well in the Premier League, but then when it comes to the championship and also for the Serbian national team, scores a lot of goals. But I think just if it was in Belgrade, I think Serbia would win the game. I honestly believe that. But I think Portugal will win 2-1. They're at home in Lisbon at the Estadio Esal Benfica. I think Portugal will win against Serbia. It will not be easy whatsoever. I just think Portugal have a bit too much quality in the midfield compared to Serbia. But obviously there's Milinkovic, Savic, and these sort of players. But, man, it's going to be a fantastic game. I think it's going to be a great game between Serbia and Portugal. One of the games of the World Cup or maybe is it the game? Is it the game in the World Cup qualifiers round? You guys let me know. Obviously, we're going to have Sweden versus Spain. We're going to have Brazil versus Argentina. We're going to have USA versus Mexico. We have so many big games in the next couple of days, guys, until next Wednesday. A lot of big games, but Portugal versus Serbia is one of the biggest games because obviously whoever wins that game, go into the World Cup and pack your bags to Qatar. But I think it will end 2-1 for Portugal in the matchup, Victor. So, yeah. But let me know your thoughts if you are Serbian or where you're from. Just let me know, guys. Omar is going 2-2 between Slovakia and Slovenia, and Serbia will top the group, Victor. Trust me and sleep well. All right. Omar is thinking that Portugal have to go once again through the playoffs. They always do somehow, Portugal. They always do. But we have one more group to talk about, guys. Group J, it is Armenia versus North Macedonia. Remember, guys, hit the like button on the stream. We still haven't hit 10 likes. Damn. As Cersei says in Game of Thrones, shame. I'm just kidding, guys. If you guys enjoy the content, hit the like button. If you don't, it's okay. If you don't like international football, we'll get back to the club football very soon. Don't worry about that. So Victor says we will see. Well, if you are Serbian, I mean, it's just difficult because if Serbia was playing against any other country, they would beat them. They have great players, Serbia. We know that. We know they have great players like Dusan Tadic. I can go through the list. I can name them all, but It's just if it was in Belgrade, I would go for Serbia, but it's in Lisbon, so that's the problem. But it's going to be an open game. I can't imagine that Serbia will just go there knowing that they have to beat Portugal and just sit back. I think then Serbia have to go on the offense and attack Portugal. So let's see then. Let's see how the Portugal defense can hold up. We saw in the Euros, not that great. So I think obviously I'm not ruling out Serbia whatsoever. They have great players. I just think Portugal just are a bit too strong for Serbia in that matchup. But we have one more group to talk about, guys, quickly before I head off and you guys enjoy your day. It's the last day before the international football returns tomorrow and what matches we have. So Armenia versus North Macedonia. I mean, Armenia have been absolutely terrible. I mean, just terrible. I mean, after they beat, I think it was Romania 1-0, they drew 0-0 with North Macedonia. They lost to 6-0 to Germany. They drew 1-1 with Liechtenstein, drew 1-1 with Iceland, and they lost to Romania 1-0. So it's been terrible times for Armenia and Mkhitaryan squad. North Macedonia, I mean, okay, they lost to Germany 4-0. I mean, Germany under Hansi Flick, watch out, guys. They might do some damage in the World Cup. They beat Liechtenstein, and then they get a lot of draws. So, yeah, I mean, this matchup usually is they met in the Nations League, 4-0 win for Armenia. I think this will be another draw, another 1-1. But Armenia have just kicked themselves in the foot. They really have. They should have taken second place in this group. That 1-1 draw with Liechtenstein and Iceland is just going to kill them. It's just going to kill them from getting second place in this group, really. It's a shame because it would have been nice to see. I mean, obviously, it's nice to see if North Macedonia can get even second place, but it's going to be tough. I think Romania will get second place in this group. So give me your score predictions, guys. I'm saying a 1-1 between Armenia and North Macedonia. And then the next matchup, we have Germany, Liechtenstein. Oh, quick thing, guys, before I talk about then. Germany versus Liechtenstein. Obviously, it doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't really matter too much because Germany have qualified to the World Cup. But quickly, 5 Germany players isolating after testing positive, obviously, for the vid. So it doesn't really matter because they've already qualified to the World Cup. But still, it's a bit of a big deal. It's a bit of a big deal. Germany obviously have the 5 players missing. I don't think they named the 5 players. They just said they have close contact. So it don't matter. They've qualified to the World Cup. Congrats to Germany, of course. Will they do some damage? I could see that happening. I definitely think. How far do we think, guys, Deutschland can make it in the World Cup next year? Under Hansi Flick, anything's possible. Really, anything's possible. So, yeah, this game, score predictions, 7-0. Quick and easy. Quick and easy for you guys. You guys give me your score predictions. Ali Reza says, I am back again. So, I think Portugal will equalize against Ireland 1-1, as I mentioned before, and will draw against Serbia 0-0. So then obviously, goal difference. I don't know who would be on goal difference at that moment. So, yeah. Victor's saying 2-1 to North Macedonia. Oh, I think I could see that happening because Armenia have just been terrible. They have been terrible recently. Sorry to all the Armenians out there. You guys have been terrible. You had such a glorious chance of getting second place, but you have just shot yourself in the foot, as they would say. But at North Macedonia, obviously now that Bundev is retired, who's going to usually get the goals for them? Maybe Elmas or somebody like that, but it's difficult now. Bundev was kind of just like the hero, the player who brought them all together in a way. That's the thing with North Macedonia. And we saw he scored they scored a couple goals in the Euros this summer, but yeah. Yeah. Omar says Germany ain't no. It's going to be ridiculous for Germany. Deutschland are on a roll right now. Portugal will go through because of goal difference. Okay, thank you for letting me know. So Serbia have to win. We'll have to win. I can't wait, guys. At the same time, what is going on? What is going on? Craziness. Oh, the World Cup qualifiers are ridiculous. 2-0 for Romania against Iceland. Yeah, guys, I mean, Iceland have been improving recently. Obviously, beating Liechtenstein, everybody should be beating them. They lost to Germany. Okay, they drew 2-2 with North Macedonia, 1-1 with Armenia. But Romania, they should be winning this game. They have to win this game. Romania have very easy schedule coming up. They have Iceland at home, and they have Liechtenstein away. So I think Romania will grab the second place in this group because they just have easier opponents at the moment. They just have easier opponents. That's to the benefit of Romania. Okay. Do I think they're going to qualify to the World Cup? I don't think so. They just don't have the quality players. This group has just been very easy, in my opinion. But obviously, we know Yanis Hadji. We obviously know who Hadji is, one of the great players ever. His son now plays for the Romanian national team. So, got to watch out for Hadji. But I just don't think this Romanian squad will make it to the World Cup otherwise. But they will win this game. They will get second place in this group, 2-0 for Romania. Iceland have just been poor. A lot of their players retired. I think after the World Cup, they have had a little bit of trouble in the federations due to some allegations. So Iceland have been struggling a lot. But let's see, they have good players, Iceland, but it's not going to work. I think Romania will get second place in this group because, they'll win this. Then they'll obviously still be 1 point ahead of North Macedonia if North Macedonia win, and then they have Liechtenstein in the last game. And if somehow Romania draw with Liechtenstein, then they deserve not to go to the World Cup. That's all I got to say. Finland beat Liechtenstein, and I was there to qualify to the Euros for 2020. So at least we did that. At least we did that. But yeah, guys, give me your score predictions. 2-0 for Romania, same as me. Beat on. Thank you for tuning in. He says Armenia has a striker from Boca Juniors, and that's how they won't qualify. Even in international football, you cannot get away from the rivalry between River Plate and Boca Juniors. You just can't, man. You just can't. You just can't. Romania, Iceland 3-2. Amar, man, I love your results, but Iceland 3 goals away. I don't see it. Germany 6-0. I don't want to go overboard. Well, that's pretty overboard. I mean, going really, really overboard would be like 10, 11-0. That's what I would got to say. And Victor says Iceland has been poor. I don't know what happened to them. I just said, some players retired. Sigurdsson, we don't need to say more about that. They had some allegations in the federations as well. So Iceland have gone through a lot of trouble in recent times. But guys, we got to quickly just look. We got to quickly look at some of the games coming up as well in the World Cup qualifiers. We know we talked about already CAF, talked about obviously tomorrow. Then there is on Friday, there's Italy versus Switzerland. Obviously, the winner of that is going to go to the World Cup. So very interesting matches coming up. Obviously, Denmark are high flying. Hopefully then Saturday is just such a big day. Saturday is such a big day for me. There will be a watch along for Finland versus Bosnia. I'm very nervous. Very nervous. I think Bosnia will win the game. Just saying, guys. I think Bosnia will win the game against Finland. Finland versus Romania in the playoffs would be fun. Just saying. I think Finland would beat Romania. I'm not going to lie. I think we would. That's no disrespect to Romania, but I just think Finland have had a tough group. France, Ukraine, Bosnia, 3 very high-quality teams. That's all I got to say. I think that's just very high-quality teams. Guys, quickly, before I head out, I'm leaving in about 3 to 5 minutes. Where you're watching from and what national team do you support? You gotta let me know. Obviously, you see the jersey there. So that's one of my national teams I support. Is it okay to have 3 national teams to support? You guys let me know. I think it is. So, Ali Reza says, Bosnia is not the team of 2014. Finland can beat them. Yeah, but there is Dzeko, there is Pjanic, there is Kolasinac, there is Azidomovic. They have actually a lot of good players. And if you guys hear a bone being bit, that's my dog. So don't worry about the background sound. So, yeah. Bosnia are still a good team. Even though they made it to the World Cup in 2014, they still got a lot. They still got Dzeko and Pjanic still playing, but still. And 80 says, USA. Oh, God, big game. Big game, guys. Big game. USA versus Mexico. Saturday morning here in Finland. 4 a.m. in the morning, and I'm going to wake up and watch it because it is top 5 must-see international football matches in the world. It is. USA-Mexico is one of the biggest rivalries in international football. I love it. Bidon says, Messiland, a.k.a. Argentina. Actually, which part of Argentina do you live in? You got to let me know. I've always wanted to go to Argentina. One of the countries I want to visit badly. Old. Yeah, they're not all old, Ali Reza. They're not all old. Finland will win 1-0. Omar, I hope to God you're right. I just don't see it happening for us. I don't see it happening. Victor says he's watching from Serbia. Thank you for tuning in. See, guys, we're international. It doesn't matter where you watch from, what club you support. In Serbia, I don't know if it's mostly then Partizan or Red Star or Crvena Zvezda or however you want to pronounce it. Or like if you want to say either Red Star or Crvena Zvezda, but I think that's mostly maybe the two teams that people support in Serbia. You can let me know, Victor. It's good. It's good to know. And Partizan Belgrade, very very good this season. Egypt, yes, of course we know the land of King Mo Salah. And I say Finland win 2-1 on the last minute of the game for extra. Man, I beat on. My heart wouldn't take it. My heart wouldn't take it. Rathon Wraith Bonify says Sverige. Still got to go watch the Stockholm Derby one day. Now I'm in Buenos Aires, but moved here recently from Entre Rios, just across the river from Uruguay. Okay, interesting. Buenos Aires is massive, guys. You guys have to see how many teams they have in the Argentina. That's ridiculous how many teams they have there. It's so crazy. Like each little barrio or neighborhood in English, like you just got to say like, there's just so many teams. It's ridiculous. Ismaila, Egypt. Let me see where that is. Is that near Cairo? Let me see that. See, now we've gone away. See, this is the joy of talking about World Cup qualifiers, guys. We see where everybody's from. So now I'm going to look at where Ismaila, Egypt is. You see, this is the things you got to find out. This is the things. This is the joy. This is the joy. Brazil versus Argentina this month. Yeah, I know, man. There's ridiculous matches coming up. Absolutely ridiculous. I love it. I'm going to have a good preview of the Argentina-Brazil matchup. I really like and support Finland. Of course, thank you, Alireza. Pukki goal. Guys, do you know Pukki, if you translate it to English, means goat. So we know who the goat is. It ain't Ronaldo. It ain't Messi. It's Pukki. Teemu Pukki. You guys know who the goat is. Yeah, the metropolitan area has like 36, I think, stadiums with over 10,000 capacity. Oh my God, in one city. Do you know how many stadiums in Finland have more than 10,000 capacity in the whole country of Finland? I'm trying to count now. Wait. We have 3 stadiums in Finland that are over 10,000 capacity. And Buenos Aires has alone 36. Crazy. Yes, it pains me to say, but Partizan are doing very well this season. I am Red Star fan. Okay, yeah, but, Red Star are doing well in the Europa League, but Partizan might finally win the Serbian League. I don't know how long it's been that Red Star have dominated, but Gomez, the Cape Verdean striker for Partizan Belgrade, has been very, very good. But yeah, guys, that is then the World Cup qualifiers. Mike's road to Qatar. Thank you guys all for tuning in from wherever in the world you are watching. Thank you all very much for your continued support. Tomorrow, there may be a watch along then for Greece versus Spain, maybe, or I might just take the night off. Just kind of do some analysis of the matches. And then Friday night, there will be a watch along then for Italy versus Switzerland, because whoever wins that match basically goes to Qatar. I mean, pretty much. So then Saturday, there's going to be Bosnia versus Finland. There's going to be a watch along. And, it's early in the day for me, early in the day for most of you. So get to enjoy me going crazy, reacting to Finland. And hopefully you guys can join, get a stream going to the game at the same time and all that good stuff. Sunday, then, massive games. We got Serbia versus Portugal. We got Spain versus Sweden. Both of those games, whoever wins those matches goes to the World Cup. Guys, this is the time when we find out. We're starting to dwindle down on the amount of teams that are going to qualify to the World Cup. So all great to see. All great to see. Ali Reza still says Iran versus Argentina. Honestly, one of the great games ever, even though it was a 1-0, and Messi just scored a ridiculous goal in that game. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 2014 Messi World Cup. I have no clue. Higuain, man. That's all I got to say about the 2014 World Cup. Higuain. It pains me, guys, because I support Finland. I support the USA national team. I love Argentinian football. I love it. They're like my third national team. They were my team in the last World Cup because none of my national teams qualified. So Argentina have a special place, but Higuain, man, God damn it, God damn it, he couldn't finish past Neuer. He couldn't. God damn it. But anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Ali Reza, Bidon, Victor, Amar, Adi, and Ratan Bonafide. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button on the video. Do so now because helps other people see the stream. So, Ali Reza, love, hearts to Michael. Thank you very much. It means a lot. All right, guys. Gonzalo really ruined his chances of it. I mean, I don't know. He should just stay in Miami. Him Him and his brother just stay in Miami forever. The Higuain brothers just stay in Miami, smoke the cigarettes, and that's what I think Gonzalo said. I think he was saying before, smoke the cigarettes, enjoy retirement league in MLS. Well, he found out reality. MLS is pretty tough. He found it out the hard way, Gonzalo. So, Gonzalo, I don't think that name should be very much used in Argentina anymore, or at least the Higuain. That name shouldn't be used anymore. But great stream. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a beautiful day. World Cup qualifiers start tomorrow. Hopefully all your nations do well. I don't want to ridicule any nations. I just hope you guys all enjoy your matches. It could be stressful times for most of you. It could not be. Very stressful weekend for me when it comes to the USA and Finland. Very big game. So all have a beautiful night. All have a beautiful day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Adios.